Hi, hello, and welcome. This is yet another episode that we're going to be doing through like face recording. I'll probably start like doing backlog streams here soon. But until then, uh, when last we left off with our adventurers, they had just gotten back to the manor after meeting up with a local dragon. We are currently down a player temporarily, but hopefully they will be able to join us later on. I think it's a fairly good recap range. Unless anyone wants to add any more.
Didn't we figure something out about the door too?
Oh yeah, the fact that you all have to be the ones that make the handle for the door.
Before we go through all that, has anyone tried seducing the door?
I'm the only one that's been near the door, so no.
Oh. And we know what's inside the door, right?
Not
No, we do not.
But
we know it somewhere.
We have like vague things that I've read, and that's about it. We know this door will connect to other places, but we don't know what those places are.
Like, will it help do good? Because like Cassius, from what Cassius's experiences, in his experience though, like if he's doing good and he gets killed, he comes back, so it's okay. So like someone attacked a temple, he was trying to fight them off, and got killed, and he came back. So if it's greater good and shit, surely it won't release like any type of like ancient horror or something on the world. That's definitely not that.
What's Shirley got to do with it?
Surely she knows what the fuck she did.
Shirley knows.
the great jokes of all time. Surely you must be joking. I'm not joking, and don't call me Shirley.
Exactly.
I wasn't allowed to witness that movie growing up.
Gavin, just so you know, doesn't matter how old your kids get, they still need your help. That's the reason for the extra delay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll allow it then.
That was going out and trying to locate a phone in deep snow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. On vibrate.
Yeah. Right now I get to use my child as indentured servitude.
The gopher.
I wish.
Yeah, well, I'm broken, so.
I'm the least broken of the three of us living here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I moved it. It's no longer sitting on the cable. It's now sitting on like my mic dampening rig.
Mm-hmm.
This is on brand for me.
Okay. What else do I need? I know I need my character. Anyways, where are we at? We got a door.
We literally
where?
just started. I hit record not that long ago.
Yeah.
So I think we need Cassius to come up to the manor still and meet Fubar
Properly. We did like a half introduction, but it wasn't like a real introduction.
Okay.
And Sorka, did you let any of us know about the door, or was that just your knowledge?
No, I let you know about the tour like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
that
I know about the handle part.
No, because I just found that out like
Okay.
while I was doing research and you guys were off doing whatever else you guys were doing. That's when I locked myself in the library and hit you with the door.
Fair.
And I do have a semblance of a character now that has spells, but they may or may not be the same ones that I have on my actual character.
Close enough.
There's spells that do magic. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Do you still have access to the information for your book?
Yes, yeah, that's in a separate drive file, so I do still have that. That is the one thing that didn't get lost in all of this craziness.
Priority.
So what? That was a small ISP.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, we had no knowledge of like having to log in and like put stuff in this new in between system and all of that. So we're just waiting to hear back from them.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a trend that's been going on since the 90s. I lost my ISP because they got bought out by somebody bigger. And if they don't get bought out by somebody bigger, they're basically pushed into bankruptcy.
Yeah. So we're making do with what we have, and hopefully at least Twitch will get back to me and I can at least get into my D&D Beyond again. So
Yay.
Fingers crossed.
so let's do the stuff with the things.
Yes. And the peeps.
Oh no, we're past peeps season, I thought. Oh no,
No,
the
we're just
zombie
getting
Jesus
into
Day isn't up
the
yet.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll send a message off to Cassius letting him know to wrap up at the brothel for now and get up to the manor. There's some things that we'd like to discuss with him.
I think I'm able to reply, right?
Well, hopefully you're not that occupied.
Yeah.
You are technically not alive.
Yeah, no. Anyways, but no, yeah, I'll whatever time of day it is, I will head out shortly.
All right. We'll see you in a couple days.
Can I send emojis back? Is it just a bunch of thumbs up emojis? Can it be just emotion?
Dio just gets the impression of a wild grin and a thumbs up.
Yep.
Remind me to not directly message Cassius unless I can help it. I don't want to have to be interpreting poop emojis.
100%. They look like emojis drawn by and like in crayon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how we get around the 25-word limit of sending?
It's all emojis. But you can say the emojis once though. Like it's not like you can open the text back up and look at it. Like you got to list all of them off in one string.
All right, Fubar. Well, wander around, see if there's anything catches your fancy in the manor. I think we're going to be holed up here for a few days.
Okay. I'm looking around and definitely some nice digs.
Had to go through some remodeling when we moved in, but
Well, you guys have done an amazing job.
truly it's the townsfolk. We just paid them to do what we wanted. Their skill is evident. If we've got a little bit of time while we wait for everyone to gather up, because I think Cassius and Tala were the only ones left in town, right?
Yes.
So while we wait for them, I only had a couple more checks left for my herbalism. If I could spend a couple days while we wait for them working on that.
Sure.
So, is there a place that's fairly open so that I can work on my martial arts skills?
There is a courtyard in the middle of the manor. So the manor is basically kind of like a castle. There is the 4 different parts of the manor,
Mm-hmm.
and in the middle there is a grand courtyard. It's not. It's somewhere between like Downton Abbey, kind of thing. Big, majestic,
I know the type of building.
mansion.
Don't our parliament is designed that way? So,
Yeah, it's like a big mansion, but with a courtyard in the middle because everyone needs to have an ongun for the factor of like. Of course, we have a courtyard in
for
the
good
middle of the
parties.
building where there should be more building.
Mm-hmm. It's a great place for parties.
Oh yeah.
So-
that way you can have outside you can have some of the outside inside.
Basically, you
could
have
be
outside with
without the
privacy.
ruffians.
Yes, exactly. Outside with privacy. Okay, so then
And that means that most of the rooms have windows, like
Yep.
overlooking something.
Yep. Whether in or out. Just make sure your curtains are pulled, because you never know what your neighbor across the courtyard is going to see. So then, yeah, I'll be spending time on just refining my strikes. Anybody who watches me has to wonder what the heck I do, because even though it is martial arts, it's very loosely done.
It doesn't take that long for Cassius and Tala to get there. It is the couple days of travel. But with the fact that the more that you guys end up traveling back and forth between the manor and the town, the safer it is becoming because there is more commerce that is passing through here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Discouraging the few bandits that try to set up and
yeah,
clear
there have
up
been
the market
bandits
for
mentioned in
hordes
the
of animals.
past. Yeah, there were bandits like when you first showed up. Only reason that you never really encountered them is because they saw, oh, hey, this is, and we know these are an adventuring party. Didn't know that they were the barons at the time, but like this is an adventuring party. And these aren't just regular people. And now there is military going back and forth. There is commerce that comes through here on their way to the north. The manor is about a day's travel from a extremely small town. That its only notable point of that small town is it is a fork in the road going between farther north up in the mountains or jutting off west towards Vesper. And the thing that is in the town is a good-sized tavern and inn. And there's like a couple farms along the ways, but that's really it. That little town is focused around the from here you go different ways.
It's a rest stop.
Yep. And they haven't claimed a name for themselves yet.
It's the Motel 6 in the middle of nowhere.
And there is a restaurant in the area. Basically the Waffle House.
It's Radiator Springs on Route 66.
It feels close to No Name, Colorado. Which I still fucking laugh about that place. No Name, Colorado. There is the road that just says road. RD. That's it. There is the road on No Name. And there are two things there. There is housing down one direction and a rest area. And that's it for the next like 10 miles.
Yeah. No Name has a road. And that is exactly as complicated as it gets.
So it's literally one of those blink and you miss it.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, I think the sign saying that you're at No Name is bigger than No Name. But
Yes.
The fact that there is a town called No Name is, I love this sense of humor of those people.
Oh, you should look it up sometime through Google Maps. Like, oh yeah, there is the road, and then there is a rest area, and that is the entire exit. There is nothing else. There is no U-turns in either direction. Except for at the rest area.
all right.
Yep. There's the rest area. The Grand Army of the Republic Highway. There's the off-ramp. No Name Creek. And No Name Lane.
Oh, sorry, it's a lane. My apologies.
Yes.
You lying motherfucker.
And there's a No Name Trailhead.
Ooh.
Popular Creekside Trail and White River National Forest, open for hiking and horseback riding.
It's actually a gorgeous area.
I can see that. There's a lot that's absolutely gorgeous within the United States. It's the government that's the issue primarily.
Oh,
and the Christians. Can't forget them.
Personally,
No one ever will.
I say we just set up a commune somewhere like in the middle of the mountains off of like, something like No Name Lane and just play D&D all day long and cabin in the woods.
If we can do it so that part of the land is on the Canadian side, definitely we can do this.
Yeah, let's just do the Montana-Canada border.
There you go.
And then we secede from all countries and just claim our own place. We govern ourselves. We are the tavern. This is going to require so much fucking editing.
Okay, and that's okay. So that's Saskatchewan is north of Montana or Alberta. Ooh.
But do you want to live in Alberta?
Not Alberta per se. Or we could actually no. Montana also crosses into BC. We could do this. Because then we're into the Rockies.
Which means you've got forest, you've got fresh water, you've got everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are all up in the manor.
All right, Fubar. Cassius is getting close. I already told you. They're not the type
They're
of
unliving, but the good kind of unliving.
yes.
This I gotta see. But it's also par for the course with everything so far.
Hang out with us long enough, and you will question everything you ever knew.
I already am.
Trust me, we'll find more.
Gods.
Cassius, Tala, how are we doing?
Yo. We're doing good. How's everything been here?
You see this purple creature standing beside Dionysus, by the way.
We're doing all right. Unfortunately, Justice has decided to take some time for themselves, but Fubar is going to be following us around, and I thought I'd introduce you to Fubar, Cassius, Fubar, and this strapping young gentleman is Tala, and I point to the short tabaxi next to Cassius.
Tala just bows. As a note, Cassius, Tala hasn't talked much recently around you for the past few days.
Has Tala come of age?
Tala is dealing with some interesting hurdles.
I'm not sure if Cassius would, or I'm not sure how well Cassius would pick up on it.
True, Tala is fairly quiet in general.
Tala, I think Sorka has pulled herself up in the library if you feel the need to catch up.
He bows again and heads off to the library.
So does he seem mad, or is that just me?
It's not.
No, your whole group is mad.
Yes, we are. Thank you. So, Fubar, as you can see, Cassius is different than the other
Non-living.
non-living.
Living impaired.
Humor impaired too, from the sounds of it.
Not just. Plus, he's far more colorful than anyone from the purple. Do you see that jacket? The bright yellow fucking.
And the
Yeah.
fact that he was at a brothel, no less.
Oh, he's building the brothel. It was his idea.
Okay.
A brothel, a theater. It is a brothel. Doesn't quite do it justice, but that is at the heart of it. That's where it started.
No. Well, you understand the living well.
Yeah, I used to be one.
That is usually how this goes, right? I don't think
Look, I don't know how I'm here, so I'm questioning a lot of shit myself.
so. You have no idea. Oh. Okay. And and Fubar just sits down suddenly, and it's just, oh,
Looks, they're not screaming, so that's an improvement, right? Usually, when I meet someone, they're screaming and running away.
Well, I did warn Fubar, and they seem to have the disposition to, had I not warned them, they wouldn't be screaming and running away, more like attacking outright.
Oh well,
I received the moniker the Reckless from my monastery.
I figured you two would get along great.
Okay, and
I was just saying, Cassius is just kind of like sizing you up.
I don't look like much. I'm quite thin. The biggest thing is that I'm dragonborn and very purple.
Can't forget the stones.
Oh yes, anywhere you see dark blue on my picture there that you see on in my background, those are all stones, actual gemstones.
Okay.
So
I mean, you say don't look like much. However, comma, purple dragonborn with gemstones in your hand. I mean, I
there's
don't know, not
it's
much.
physically like, okay, he's pretty much
Oh, like,
real thin.
not like physically imposing. Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah. How tall did I make him? I think I made him about 5'10", something like that.
Oh, Cassius is a inch shy of being a foot taller than you.
Then being a foot taller.
Yes, Cassius is 6'9".
But also rail thin.
What?
Cassius is real thin. Like there, you can tell there used to be muscle, but he does look. What's the word?
Emaciated?
I think emaciated is close. Like yeah, like all the little like
More
well,
wiry
like,
muscle?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like he is. It looks like he was vacuum sealed.
Okay.
Correct.
So you're seeing a similar structure in my case also. Very tight, wiry muscle.
If your practice earlier was anything to go off of, Fubar, I think you both are hand-to-hand combatants. Might be interesting for you two to spar.
I would not be opposed. It's always good to hone one's skill.
By all means. Now, later, I think we got.
Probably later. I think the rest of us should get together. I know Sorka's been deep in the books. She might have found something.
Oh, that you just made that sound so bad. As in you being deep in the whiskey.
I mean, I've never surfaced from the bottom of the barrel, so.
Speaking of, hey, let me get that
I just
flash.
know I haven't actually seen Sorka in at least 2 days, so I've been having the cooks send food to the library.
Oh.
Usually
Food
meat.
in a library?
She's on a tangent. She wouldn't eat otherwise.
I realize that, but oh my God, the care needed to be able to not cause problems with the books.
I mean, this is Sorka we're talking about. I know she's careful. I just know she would neglect food for a week if left to her own devices. Now that I think about it, Wells has barely been making an appearance either. I think he was sad to be away from his family jewels for too long. let's get everyone over to the tavern. Have a few drinks, have a nice meal, relax. I think we all kind of split off to do our own things pretty quickly and didn't take time to actually really relax. But when we got back,
Well, it would be good considering the fact that we just traveled in from the Black, so I've not had a chance to really take some time other than this last day and change.
Cassius is probably still just covered in like dirt and debris and dust from like, essentially living on a construction site. And then just why I'm assuming like he was just working and it was like, okay, I'll like leave in the morning and then just continued working until and then you went to sleep and woke up and left. Like there was no like
Well, it's not like you have body odor.
yeah, like I don't my body doesn't function like that. So yeah, like I think I'm fine.
Cassius is like a chinchilla. He bathes in dust.
Exactly. See Cassius just jumping looks like a little litter box and just fling dust everywhere and roll around in it.
So I hold out my hand and my shadow kind of pools in my palm and forms into Noct. And I send Noct off to the library and send a message to Wells to tell him to meet us in the tavern.
What? Okay, you did. You made Shadow into something?
Yeah, did you not
Yeah.
see the bird?
This is the first time I see that he manifested it.
Yeah, but like you saw the bird, like there was darkness, like shadow, like turned into a bird though.
A couple months ago, well, we've had a few interesting things happen to us. The first interesting thing happened to me, alone, I believe. My magic changed. I'm classically trained as a bard, but my magic shifted one day, and I found that my shadow and my control over it has manifested some unique capabilities.
Okay.
Shadows are denser for me. I haven't truly tested it yet, but I have the feeling that I can move through them to a limited degree now as well. And I can have an outward expression of my shadow, be it a weapon or a familiar.
Okay. You are an interesting crew, definitely.
Wait, are you magical? Do you cast spells and stuff too?
Oh heck no, I'm a monk.
Oh yeah.
Stick with us long enough. I'm pretty sure that will be amended. There seems to be forces at play that don't like to let us just be.
Okay. I am now confused.
Excellent.
So what's your weird thing? This is like, is it just like all of us all of us have a weird thing. Like all of us have a thing. It's like like I'm, mostly human except the whole being dead and like being shiny. He can control his shadows.
I'm a reckless monk. I have no idea what you are talking about being
Don't
weird.
worry, we'll find your freak flag. We found Sorka's.
It was in a library.
So instead of coming out of the closet, she came out of the library, did she?
Not willingly.
I've seen the kitchen staff. They have to like set down the tray and then just back away slowly, like Ding Dong Ditch. So they gotta like they use a long stick and just tap on the door and then run away down the hall.
She's that dedicated to books, I see.
Oh yes.
So while this conversation is going on, Noct is going to work his way into the library and land directly on Sorka's shoulder.
There is no store only tool.
Hello. And you're in my library because
I use message through Noct. Cassius has returned. I think it would be wise for all of us to actually take a break now that we're all back together. Why don't you and Tala come on down to the tavern? We can have a drink and a nice meal together and get more familiar with Fubar.
okay. On my way. I'll set down the books that like I had found based on talking to Tala on my reading desk inside the library and head out.
And before Noct flies away, gonna use message one more time through it to just say into Fucker's head, "Hey Fucker, keep up the good work," as loud as possible.
Knocks a bottle of ink over.
Fucker's only reply is in the same tone as surprisingly the ward. Get bent.
Never change. Never change.
Oh. Okay.
When we get to the tavern, I just inquire if there's any more dire beast meat and to see if we can get a nice full spread.
Dire beast meat?
The dire beasts were getting a little out of hand around here. The problem is mostly resolved, just clearing up the stragglers.
Yeah, so like if you have like a moose, but then like you double that moose, that's what we're talking. That's like a dire moose.
I do know what dire creatures are,
Oh.
and the fact that there were multiple enough to cause a problem is frightening.
More than multiple enough. We had hundreds of dire beasts in the surrounding woods. The real problem was the moose packs. The wolves were fine. The moose were causing problems.
Well, I have no idea what a moose is. I've never seen one, but I'm assuming it's a large predator.
You all get a run of drinks started. I'm gonna take Fubar over to the lodge. I'm pretty sure they mounted one of the moose heads.
So far, the total number of moose taken down is 2. There are still a few out there, but Justice and other members of the hunting committee have mentioned that this is going to be a problem that's going to take time if we don't want to lose a bunch of people.
Yeah, but is there a moose head in the lodge in the back?
Yes. At the main lodge, the first moose head has been moved from the small hunters lodge out in the middle of nowhere into the main hunters lodge. Is this your first time going into the main hunters lodge, Dio?
Probably.
So as you enter this main hunters lodge, it feels like a combination of like a military barracks and a tavern with weapons racked up in bunk beds. Like there's bunk beds and dividers everywhere. There are 3 main sections that you can tell. Each of them has a set of bunk beds with very simple, thin walls of dividers. Each divider section has 6 bunk beds, and the bunk beds are stacked 3 high. There are in the middle of each of those, so it is 3 walls of those like room sets, and then in the middle of those there is a seating area with leather seats and a table. Then there is the larger gathering area. It has a huge bar that is connected to a kitchen that is all very open. The bar is stocked from what people bring in themselves. This is very much a communal military feel, but the military is aimed at taking down animals instead of people.
It feels like a well-organized militia.
Yes. You have a strong feeling that if you needed to deploy them, they would be devastating on a battlefield.
Well,
But over the main fireplace, which the main fireplace itself is massive.
well, they might not have much experience fighting people. They've gotten plenty of it in the wilds.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on one of the main walls, there is a massive fireplace. It is easily 15 feet across. It is large enough to house a bonfire in itself. There are a couple animal heads in the surrounding areas, but they have mounted this huge dire moose head over the center of the mantle, and it is being held up with chains connected to the ceiling.
So I point up to the head. Fubar, that's a dire moose head. That's actually about how far it stands off the ground, too. So
Gods above.
So let's go grab lunch.
Yeah. Okay.
So I walk in, I point up to it, and I just turn around and walk back out.
I just looked dazed at it for a bit until somebody just pokes me to get me out of said daze. And I look around. I see. Oh shit! Oh, do I remember? And I start trying to figure out my way back to the tavern.
I'm just waiting for you outside the door.
Dio, actually, as you turn around, you are bumped into on accident by a dwarf. Like
Oh.
you run into each other kind of hard.
Oof. My apologies. I wasn't watching where I was going.
It's alright. Happens more often than you think.
Do I recognize them?
Not directly, but you've heard the description of this person before. Where is his? There it is. This dwarf is he has a pipe in his teeth as he's talking to you, but it is not lit. In fact, the very top of the pipe looks to have a bit of wood stuffed into it. He stands about average height for a dwarf, very broad build, and the most interesting thing about this dwarf is his beard is trimmed very short. Like, it looks like a just basic full face beard that's thick, maybe sits about an inch or two off of his face itself. But it is not any of the grand beards that you've seen from many other dwarves.
My apologies. I don't believe I know your name.
That's all right. Gildick Stone.
Garrick.
Guldick.
Galdic. Galdic. Well, I'm Dio. Though you probably already are aware of that. Impressive. You guys got it moved over here. Those dire beasts sure make for impressive ornamentation.
They do. They do. Finally happy to actually be able to work in the main manor now that my work over at the other lodge is finally finished.
Okay, completely out of character. This is the dwarf that
Yes.
was okay.
And what were you doing over at the other lodge?
I was doing rebuilding. Unfortunately, I had mostly burned that one to the ground a while back, and I didn't have the funds at the time to be able to actually rebuild it around, financially. So they had me working and all that. I signed the contract to be able to, not have to pay the debt back of actually working the build up. I just helped rebuild it myself. Among that contract that I had to properly, like, permanently give up smoking, which is a bit of a cry, but as long as I don't burn down another thing, I
It was your
We'll give it
smoking
some
that burned
for-
down the lodge, huh?
yeah, that was me.
And is that a no smoking contract through one of us, or was that the previous administration?
I signed the contract directly with Lily.
Ah, well,
Yeah, she said it's either that or I have to shave off all the hair. And when she pulled out her knife, I didn't trust her with other range, so like I took the beard trim as a mark of shame for people got hurt. No one got killed. No one got killed, which is fucking blessings, muff. But like people got hurt and people had to stay away from all the other stuff. It was all my fault. I took blame for it.
I would love to help you, but even I'm not one to get Lily riled up too much.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Like, yeah, having to give up a bit of smoke, it's a bit of a cry. I'm not gonna lie, it is a cry, but like, it is what it is,
Indeed. How are the hunters doing?
Oh, we're getting back more injured recently with some of the other hunts, but like most are coming back all right. We've lost a few over to the two larger hunts, but like the last large hunt, which they're doing the cleaning now. That one's made a lot easier. Just gave me a real help on that one. Yeah.
How are the healing supplies here?
They're good. Yeah. We managed with our own healing.
Do you have any potions or salves?
I got good amount of cells. We got herbs and stuff like that. We got
Okay.
groups that work alongside us, but most rangers, they know what they're looking for.
Well, if you need anything, let me know.
Absolutely.
And sorry about the smoking.
I should have given out years ago. Probably took a decade to do off my life, yeah.
You're an excitable fellow. Wish you good health.
Yeah. As good as the drink will let me, eh?
Poke Fubar to pull them out of their wandering of dire beast.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we should get back to the others. I just thought you should. You seemed confused about the dire beast situation. I thought you should see a moose.
The gods above, there are creatures, natural creatures that big.
I wouldn't call them entirely natural.
Somebody messed with one of them.
Somebody opened a gateway to the astral plane, and it kind of started affecting the creatures in the area.
Who would be so stupid as to do that?
An immortal, an eternal, whatever the fuck they call themselves, an ancient one.
And let me guess, it was a challenge.
For us, yes.
I believe
I'm dealing with a group that has been given a challenge by an ancient one.
Yeah.
At least one. Yeah.
Oh my God. I did want interesting.
Welcome to the team. Let's go grab some lunch.
Yes. I may as well eat before I drop dead.
Good, everyone's here. Sorry, I just needed to show Fubar a dire moose that he'd never seen a moose before. Sorka, good to see you outside of your library.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we managed to drag you away from your jewels. The guild doing well still?
Yes, it's doing fairly well.
Excellent. We all just kind of dived into other projects as soon as we got back. We went to town and then got up here and dove into some projects. So I figured it'd be nice for us all to just relax for a few hours. And I've been more of my obnoxious self to Fubar over the last couple days than is normal. Sorka, I'm sure you feel their pain.
Yeah.
What he doesn't see is behind him. I've got a little card on it written, "Help."
But ostensibly, as Fubar is going to be with us for a while at the behest of the Black, I figured it'd be nice for us all to just sit down, relax, and chat.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I haven't entirely scared you off yet, so you've got a little bit more spine than most.
I am a Dragonborn. I do have something to, a certain reputation to live up to.
Are those spines? I thought they were called horns.
A spine, dimwit.
Be nice to Cassius. He might be slow, but he's nice.
Are those not called horns? And you do have like little spines on the back of your head right there.
Not everything is about the external, Cassius. I was more talking about their resolve. They're either very afraid of what happens if they leave, or they're genuinely curious as to what kind of mayhem we can get up to.
Why are you here? Like, why
A
are
little
you...
of column A, a little of column B. Yes. I am here as partially to be as a representative of the Black. And how to put this delicately? I don't seem to fit well with my kin in the Black. I'm a little too, well, reckless. And I was encouraged to settle elsewhere.
Well, I think all of us are a little reckless, including Sorka, because she keeps putting up with us. I think she'll deny it to her dying breath, but she gets a thrill out of the adventure.
Whatever.
Are you sure they're not married?
I'm old enough to be her grandfather. That would be weird.
However, you look great for your age.
I'm an elf. What do you expect?
Yes, but don't elves mature slower? She may be the more mature of the two of you. Actually, I think she is the more mature of the two of you.
Don't take her side.
I just calls it as I sees it.
You started all of this.
I did. Yeah.
I'm just gonna blink slowly at you.
I would love to deny it, but it was inevitably most of my decisions that ended in the circumstances of us being here, so. You have to admit that it's entirely unexpected. Who could predict that a simple morning stroll around the docks would end in us becoming barons?
Huh?
I mean, it took a couple weeks to get to the becoming barons part, But everything started on a morning stroll around the docks.
Couple of weeks?
Yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Most of that was travel time to the meeting.
So this is a whole issue of go big or go home.
I think it's more of like, hey, let's see what this will do. Oh God, it's moving too fast. Someone please stop it. And I don't think anyone can.
It's my most successful and most accidental grift of all time.
Just head down and just focus on food.
Because, Sorka, if you remember, I just asked if you wanted to go strolling with me and go, like, shopping, right? How was I to know
Yes.
there was going to be a fight with a Purple Rose agent on the docks right as we were walking through?
But had I not met you, I would still be able to have access to my elderly parents.
We can bring them here.
Not until it's safe to get them from
Okay.
there to here.
Okay. I was worried there. Okay, so it's just the distance. Okay. I can work with that.
Actually,
Are you back with us now?
is there anything pressing about that door, or would you like to go get them? We could take a couple weeks. We've made some relations with many of the ships passing through, and we've not burned any bridges with the Blue Rose yet. We should be welcome in their docks.
I have to find out if they want to leave first off. So we need to. I will pen a letter and send it.
If you've got a picture of them, I can perhaps send a message directly to them.
I would rather give them a heads up than you show up in their brain.
That sounds terrifying.
Yes.
I
Yes,
know.
it does.
Okay. Well, pen that letter and send it out, because I'm sorry, but we should take care of that sooner than later. I think with our recent discussion with Fubar's superiors and our current stance with the White, we're at least somewhat in a position to maintain some neutrality. And
But for how long?
but perhaps here might be safer for your parents.
Jim, question. Where
Yes.
are we in relation between blue, black, purple, and us?
So I need to work on the actual like map again itself. But there is blue is more on the southern part. So there is a large lake that you're right next to.
Yeah.
The part of the lake that you guys are is the northeastern part of the lake.
Okay. And
Across the lake, on the northwestern part, there is a like single corner of the Black Rose that connects towards that lake, and there is a decent sized port town there.
okay.
The purple is just south of the black.
So in other words, yes, it would be safer for them to be here, being at more of a distance than remaining where they are.
Right. Most of the lake is like border wise. Most of the lake is controlled by blue, then onyx, then white, then purple, and then lastly black.
Okay, but purple does have access to the lake.
Yes.
That's got to be removed.
With
Are we going
the
to
Onyx
act-
Nightshade territory that we took, we actually control a little bit more of the lake than purple, but not much, right?
Yeah, you have a larger shoreline of the lake than the purple does. You also have more towns on the shoreline than the purple. To your knowledge, there are 2 cities on it. You have 3 cities on this shoreline. Mandan, which is the city that you're currently in, Vesper, and West Haven. And West Haven is the farthest north. But there's also smatterings of fishing towns that are along there. All of them have names, but it's just all over the place. They are so small that none of the main ships that do business here in Mandan or in the city of Mandan, none of those ships could stop in those towns.
Yeah. They're mostly protected by virtue of being so small and not really having the capabilities to even have larger ships land.
Right. All of the boats that dock there are shallow water boats.
Yeah. Small fishing vessels versus large trading ships.
Right. Currently, the tie for largest city in Black Rose, no, in Onyx is between Mandan and Vesper, but Mandan is growing at a faster rate.
Because that's where we're investing resources at the moment.
Yes, that is currently like when I work more on the map itself. Mandan is going to be marked as the capital, unless you otherwise want me to make aside the capital is closer to the set up a capital near the manor itself, because there are housing popping up around here, but not much.
Yeah, I think Mandan's going to be the capital. It makes sense because that's where we're trying to get most of the trade through at the moment. We'll bolster up New Haven and Vesper and some of the outlying towns deeper inland.
But is it really worth having both in the same spot, a major port town as well as the capital? That being also the fact that the capital now has a vulnerability of being exposed to a water-based attack by a potential enemy that has access.
Well,
As a note for just world knowledge, essentially take Manhattan
Mm-hmm.
and make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more condensed. That is the capital of the Blue Rose, and it is on the water. It is about a half day's trip on the water to mainland.
Okay, a half day's trip on the water to the mainland. Wow. Okay. But then, of
Having
course,
account-
blue has been well established already.
Yes, I don't think that's really the point of anything today, but Mandan being the capital makes sense because the council for this area was already here. People are used to deferring to Mandan, and it's a natural expansion. Having Vesper as its own town isn't necessarily an issue, but that can be addressed more when we actually start traveling ourselves to these other cities of what they want and meeting the needs of the people. Right now, nothing has any right to hold itself to the scale of any of these other baronies.
Mhm.
But yes, Orca, it's not that far of a journey over the lake to reach your parents. So if we want to do that before we go on any more adventures, let's do that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea because I don't know what's going on. We haven't had very much contact with anybody, save for people coming here. So
Yeah, it's only been a couple months, but so nothing crazy should have happened just yet. But let's take care of that before we go getting too crazy with possible interdimensional door. Speaking of, you seemed excited about something a couple days ago. Figure anything else out about it?
yeah. We have to create the handles. Magically, I guess is the easiest way to put it.
So not like by smithing, but by some obscure magic requirement?
Yeah, basically.
Do you know the obscure magic requirement?
Well, I have been researching for days, so
Yes.
Okay.
Is it something we're capable of at short notice or something we need to prepare for?
it's something we're capable of at short notice.
Well, so we can choose to do it whenever, if we choose to do it at all, but you know my answer on that.
Yeah, be reckless. That's your answer.
I'm not fully reckless, but curious. Hey, you like discovering new things just as much as me. Our methods just differ.
Yeah, my way is safer. I haven't yet had a book try to kill me.
You may not have had a book try to kill you, but I had a book try to kill me. In fact, a whole bookshelf. Several of them, in fact.
Did you also have a rug attack you?
I did. Furniture and myself don't seem to get along. Although I did make friends with the box as I rub my chest.
You more feel than hear the like almost purring.
So weird.
I give the mimic a mental command to split off and just turn into a small box on the table.
Hey Dio, could you just like rip it off, like rip the shirt off, and then like make it look like you just were able to just rip your whole shirt off one-handed?
I mean, I probably could. But that seems a little saucier than is necessary in the middle of a tavern.
You're shirtless right now, though. Like,
I mean,
like either way.
I do wear a shirt underneath the mimic.
I feel like it's a blouse. Is it a blouse?
I mean, shirts are blouses. That's another name for them.
What's the little frilly thing? Not like the ascot, but like the
Frills are for when I'm in important meetings. It's a very
Oh.
simple pressed white shirt. Thank you. No need to leave the room looking sloppy. The mimic takes some liberties with how frilly it makes itself. Pretty sure Sorka has just
Good.
poisoned it against me.
Maybe the mimic just has taste.
Well, I'm still convinced it was Sorka that made the mimic turn into that garish rainbow in the library.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like Sorka.
But yes, Fubar, I would like you to meet our pet mimic.
The shirt
Pet.
crawls off and turns into a little box.
I grab a piece of meat from my plate and toss it to it.
It opens up and eats it. As a note, the box is just a little bit bigger than it was last time that you'd seen it off.
Yeah, he's growing.
That thing's gonna eat you. You're gonna survive all this nonsense, all this bullshit with like ancient motherfucker, and then like your shirt's gonna eat you.
If it was going to eat me, it would have done so already. We came to an agreement.
As long as that doesn't involve any of my body parts, I'm okay with that.
Not while you're alive.
You're not alive. Would you object to him taking parts of you?
You can try.
No, we've come to a deal. I feed him and everything, and he leaves
does.
us alone.
Like he doesn't have to wait in a dungeon for nothing. Like
And they're perfectly capable of dishing out some damage. And if, we get into a fight and don't need one of the bodies, then they're welcome to it.
efficient, I guess. And it keeps it fed.
Yeah. And there's less rotting corpses sitting around.
Oh, that okay. Weird, but on par with everything else.
I think that's most of the strangeness. We've got a walking cadaver. We've got a pet mimic.
Wells plays with their family jewels.
and hungers for blood, but that's lessened.
Hungers.
And
I
Sorka
would
enjoys
say-
books. And
Well, I wouldn't say that. Wells,
Back to
no,
hunger
like,
for blood.
I wouldn't say that Wells hungers for blood.
okay, Wells' sword
True.
hungers for blood. But
Thank you. Wells is a very decent.
we've got a
person.
bookworm. That has to be the weirdest thing. The rest of us hang out with
Really?
the bookworm.
Really? I will remember that. The next
Again,
time that you
married.
need information, I will remember that.
Sorka's probably the most useful of us here, to be honest.
Was that a compliment that came out of your mouth?
I like to give her shit, but truly, she's indispensable.
You recorded that, right?
Oh yes.
Good kissing up, I must say.
And then Tala is making his way into being one hell of a fighter himself, despite his young age.
So we've got pretty much 3 frontliners at this point in time. And the rest of you. Actually, no, 4 frontliners if we include Tala. I'm assuming Wells, being with a sword, you tend to be more of a frontliner? Yes. Okay.
Wells is like frontline support, I would say. He likes to be up close and personal, but doesn't always manage to get up there.
No, I'll see if I can push people there his way then.
And to be honest, I'm reckless enough that I end up on the front line far too often than I should. I'm a good mid-ranger, but it ends up being 5 frontliners and Sorka keeping all of us alive. Hence why she's indispensable.
Not a bad ratio. It means virtually guaranteed Sorka's well protected.
Aces in their places.
And you had mentioned this individual Justice, and from the sounds of it, they're a hunter type.
Yeah, they were our backline support.
Okay, so ranged weapons. Okay.
To be honest, it even freaked me out what they could do with an arrow.
Interesting. Okay.
I've seen more impressive.
So you like to get up close and personal too, yes?
Oh,
Being
very
part-
much so. Very much so. And I do tend to succeed at that more often than not.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're fast.
A little bit.
Good. How are you in the dark?
Not so good.
It appears my skill set still doesn't mesh well with many people.
Yes, that would definitely make things a lot more challenging.
It's okay. I'm good at the covert stuff.
That's pretty easy.
Is anyone else darkness impaired in this group?
All right. Be right back, guys.
I believe Cassius has some issues with the dark, but we've kind of solved that.
Recently, Cassius got dark vision.
Oh, okay,
last
cool.
time we-
Oh, nice. So I won't have to be casting light on things for you. But I have the ability to cast light onto something that you can hold on to or whatever to help out with
I
being
have
able to see in the dark, if
Okay.
that is helpful.
Yes.
And I can do it at will. So
All the better. All the better. Okay. Yes, because I'd rather have a chance to see what I hit, because I wouldn't want to accidentally hit one of you.
well, I mean, if you were to hit Dio by accident at the end of a fight when he wasn't gonna die or anything, just say it.
Okay. Yes, married.
And Wells, have you found any like interesting new gems, or what have you been actually working on in your workshop?
Just standard jewelry making. Nothing particularly unique. Unique really.
Well, hopefully we can find you some interesting things once we open that door and see if maybe it'll lead us someplace that you can find some things that you haven't had the chance to work with.
Okay. Well, I definitely do have to say that you are a very unique group of individuals. And the fact that you're all barons of this area.
Eh,
Yeah, we kind of fell into that.
well, I kind of came around after the whole Baron thing.
Okay, so you're not burying anyone. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so well, good to know I'm not the only one without a title. But
I have a title, the Cadaver.
okay, well, if you're going to say that, it's the Reckless in my case.
I think that's a title, isn't it?
Well, it definitely was easy to identify me back home.
Probably all the purple.
No, I'm one of a few amethyst dragonborn in Black Territory. So, no, it's as part of a monastery and not being not fitting the mindset, the calm, peaceful mind. It wasn't for me. I was not able to get behind that whole thing that they would do. I focus best when I'm in the middle of combat.
I get that. That makes sense to me. I kind of go the opposite way though. Like instead of just kind of be of like peace of mind, I just kind of like go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's some similarities there.
I would definitely like to chat with you a little bit more on that. It sounds more in line with my thought process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Can philosophize for days.
Okay. So
Third,
now what,
so
Jim?
can
Well, do you guys just stick around for the rest of this day? Wait through the night and prepare to send off your letter first at first light.
Yeah.
All right. You get your letter written up, and you all the manor has a carrier service, so sending messages is not something new. The evening passes without any issues. Morning comes. Sorka, do you head down to the tavern to get your food in the morning?
Yeah, since I know everybody's here and we're trying to and I've done most of my research for our next adventure,
All right.
even though it's loud and people-y.
Somehow you're actually able to be down in the tavern before any of the others in the group. When you come down to the tavern, you look over the people momentarily as you place in your usual order. And sitting at the bar, looking as though they're waiting for something, is a fairly youngish man, early 20s, early to mid 20s. And you recognize him. It's Shiloh, the main person that watches over your parents.
I will quickly walk over. Is everything okay? Are they well? I'm sorry for the lack of communication. It's been hectic and crazy, and
They're doing well. Your father actually had a uptick recently. He's been remembering things a little bit better past couple days. Most of us, specifically Jasper, think it's lake water and being closer to forests that's probably helping him. We heard news coming from some of the ships. Apparently the Jasper has a new place that they call their main port. Sandera is not their main hub, according to what their crew says anymore. It's this small place that most everyone thought was just some backwater piece run by a insane assortment of people. When we did when I did some investigating on my own, in my free time, what little I have of it, I found out. And the four of us decided that we were going to make the choice for your parents. Your mother protested a lot to begin with, but we packed up everything we could. And Max is down in the main town, Mandan. Still, it's a few days travel. He's
Yeah, we go.
making sure everything is together. But I sold a lot of my personal things to be able to charter a boat just for us, and we loaded up all of your parents' things, and we would have taken the floorboards if we could have, but we packed up everything in the house.
What of yours did you lose? I will make sure that. What did you sell? I will send people to wherever you sold them to get them back.
The things that I sold were things from a life before your family that I honestly didn't care about. I was holding on to it on the hopes that things were going to change, but they never did. Selling them was actually probably the best thing because it's nothing to worry about.
Again, I'm so sorry for losing contact with everyone.
From what the people in town have said, it kind of makes sense. You are my boss is a baroness. And to say that out loud for the first time is almost relief. Honestly, we couldn't have even made any of this trip if it wasn't for that tiefling woman.
Tiefling woman.
Yeah, Vivian something. She got a stick up her ass or something, and when I was trying to find a captain to be able to charter, which is a lot harder than you think when you have like no connections. I'm a nurse, not a sailor, nothing like that, and I ended up at this place. It's like the yodeling frog, something like that. It doesn't matter.
The singing toad.
Whatever the. Anyway, she got us a captain. That was heading up this direction, and now we're here. The four of us sold off a few of our things, just stuff we were going to end up leaving behind anyways.
Well, I can make sure that everything is taken care of for you guys and that you have a comfortable and safe place. Until we can get a place built for you, you're welcome in the manor or in town, whichever place that you prefer, whichever place is going to be easier for you to live in. I mean, you will have access to the full library because that's my domain.
Of
For
course it
any
is.
for any information that you may need to find, and we have a pretty stacked library at this point. And if you want to go with any of our hunters to scope out a place for us to build a home, I am more than ready to speak to them just to make sure that you have protection looking for it. I want you all to have a place that feels like home and is exactly where and what you want.
Currently, your parents are down in town. I made the trip up this way with Jasper. Yeah, we'll figure out what your parents' preference on that is. If I know your parents as I do, which being employed for them for several seasons as it's been, they're probably going to ask to just move in up here if you have the room.
Absolutely.
We'll get things sorted out. It's
Are-
good
are
to see you again.
It's good to, you have no idea. Like there's a letter that is now somewhere between here and the capital of the Blue Rose. Like from me stating that I wanted to bring my family here, and here you all are. Are you planning on going back to Mandan right away, or?
No, we actually arrived pretty early this morning. So Jasper got us a room upstairs. Yeah. He passed out, and he was the last one to run our little carriage for us. We rented a small cart, and we rented a simple room for us upstairs.
Well, I will let you guys rest. I may actually head to Mandan myself and work with some of the people that I know there to get my parents and all of your stuff up this way. Once everyone has had their full rest, we will figure out what we need to do about creating the best space for all of you.
All right.
And I will let the staff here know that they're to put all of your stuff on my tab. And so whatever food and drink and lodging is definitely on me at this point. So please get your fill. Use the rooms that you have now, and we will figure out the rest as soon as everyone is rested.
All right.
And with that, I am gonna turn around, walk back to my room, fall onto my bed and cry with relief.
Yeah, it's been a while since you said anything back to town. So that role that I sent, that I had you do, there was a small chance. Oh, not exactly small chance, but no, there was a reasonable chance that they were going to try and head up this direction, because news does travel, not exactly fast, but it does travel. And then there was another role that was done of did another person also do a little bit of moving around, and because if both of them were high enough, yeah, it happened.
And now I
Speaking
feel
of-
like I owe Dio, which is gonna like irk me.
Speaking of, a little bit after you head up, Dio, you end up coming back down to the tavern. You see a few new faces, and what is your? You need to make a. What check is this going to be? Either acrobatics or athletics.
We're gonna go with acrobatics.
All right, and it is going to be at disadvantage because you are being caught by surprise.
Okay, with disadvantage, 15.
All right, so my DC to beat is 15.
It rolled a 15 and a 23.
I rolled 2 3s. uh, so you feel the arm come up like on your shoulder temporarily as someone is trying to like come up and like get a hold on you from behind. You can take your reaction as you notice someone trying to grapple you from behind.
I'm in my tavern, right?
You are in your tavern.
Okay. So I just spin out of it and take a step back. And look at who tried to grab me.
Sitting in front of you is a tiefling woman.
I immediately reverse that step back into a step forward and pick her up.
She laughs hysterically as she hugs you back in said pickup.
Vivian, so good to see you.
Hey, Baron Dumbass, how are you?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Baron Dumbass. I don't. I. I'm sorry I had to split. I'm glad you made it.
You know, when you said that you had some irons in the fire and you're wanting to set up something that I can possibly move into, you never fucking said that it was going to be something that would, oh, I don't know, make you a person that the world is going to know about. Like, it's only a matter of time until all of Hordun knows of who you are, and that news is going to spread across all of the Vanderfall.
We want fame.
Yeah, you think I'm happy about my name being on everyone's lips? Have you had breakfast yet? Let's get a private room to talk.
I mean, I had a expensive steak. I put it on your name. I hope you don't mind.
I was going to put it under my name anyway.
Now I feel like shit because you're going to offer it to me.
You know I don't let you pay for shit.
It feels better when I think when I'm actually getting one over on you.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you have this one. God damn it. Racking up the bill. I walk over to the bar, let him know that I'm going to be back in one of the smaller meeting rooms, and to bring back a couple breakfasts and ales. Come, Vivian, come on, come on. Oh, honestly, I knew you said you'd follow, but I didn't anticipate this quickly.
It's been a few months.
I know, but it's only been like 2 or 3. I was expecting at least half a year or more.
It's been like 4 or 5. You left in early spring. The
Has
summer's almost done.
Has it really been that long?
Yes. The summer is almost gone from us, and
Okay, it's been a crazy ride.
sounds like it.
As soon as we get back to the meeting room, I go, well, we got up here and had to oust a duke, work with the council, get rid of some ingrained discrimination, make it clear that it wasn't acceptable, and it's taken much better than and more smoothly than any of us anticipated.
I noticed that there are a lot more Warbreed and Draconic kin just like roaming around.
A lot of the Draconic are actually maybe not sticking around. We had delegates from the Black Rose just a few days past.
Are these the same kind of delegates that you used to steal from?
Yeah, but not under this name, fortunately.
So you aren't as dumb as you look.
Not quite, but and actually one of my old contacts was here, but he never saw me out of disguise, so kind of got
That's
lucky
good.
there. But it answers why some of our shipments got intercepted. I was curious about that. Not that it matters much anymore.
The amount of half-breeds in town, like,
There's a lot in this area, actually, and they did not have such a good go of it, but they're good people, and they deserve the same opportunities as everyone else.
yeah, I
And,
guess.
and they're motivated. We're giving them a life they never thought they'd have, so they're motivated to protect that life.
Look at you, being all big boss and shit.
Well, I've got some good people around me, too.
And these good people closer than we were?
No. Sorka, maybe. Eventually.
Sorka.
I see her in a similar vein as I see you.
Pity.
You know it'll never come to be, Vivian.
Well, I was saying for her, the fact that you see her as family and how you've treated most of your family so far.
Yeah, she's feisty. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She keeps the rest of us alive and our heads on square, at least.
Oh, so she's the brains.
Yeah, her domain is the library. You two will get along.
Honestly, your bar here is not half bad.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. Did you notice anything odd about the bartender? I know you haven't been here long, but you've got an eye.
Which one?
Excellent. I'm sure you can come to an arrangement with them if you want to make this your domain. Told you I'd have a place for you.
You'd set me up in your bar.
If that's what you want. Or we can get you a bar down in Mandan.
I took a stroll through there over the past 2 or 3 days before coming up this way. The people that I helped transport, they are so inner city. They are not beachfronters at all.
Oh, who'd you help bring up?
4 nurses and 2 old people. Funny story, they said that they were coming this way to meet up with a Sorka.
You brought.
I figured if they're heading up this direction and I needed an excuse to come and
You just saved me a whole lot of trouble, Vivian.
really, what was the pay for it?
Well, I was going to travel, and it would have interfered with some more adventures. Sorka has been very prickly because of me uprooting her life and making her a baroness, out of the blue. Especially because she had to leave her family behind, and we were about to correct that.
You're telling me that I did a good job for free. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say for free, but I discounted it because it was 2 old people. And that the old guy, he seems like his mind's going. I mean, when I saw him last in town, seemed better. I don't know.
Sorka's going to be happy. Though I can guarantee I won't be seeing her again for a few days or weeks.
Well, as long as everything gets sorted out, I guess.
But anyway, what do you think? Do you want to be up here at the manor? I know there's more trade passing through here. Or do you want to go down into town, though? I am pretty partial to the Black Barrel down there, and I don't want to encroach on Marcus's territory too much. I'd be happy to set you up a bar down there if you'd prefer.
I talked with Marcus. That's where I was staying for a couple days. You know, dropping your name has been the most lucrative thing I have done in the past few days.
I think you name dropping me is going to finally get Marcus to charge the account.
I'd hope so.
Knowing you, you actually burnt through all the excess I put on that account.
I may have gotten that family some nice dinners every so often.
Every meal.
Every meal that they would take it.
Never change, Vivian, never change. Did you bring the boy?
Yeah.
Is he here, or did you leave him back in town?
He's back in town. Marcus is watching over him.
How's he doing?
No complaints from me.
No, how's he doing?
He's doing good.
Good. Were there any issues with my disappearance from the network?
There was a vacuum for a while, and then anyone less suited for this, I brushed it up as best I could, but your leaving left a vacuum for a while. And then out of nowhere, that vacuum, which turned into a vortex for a bit, just happened to get filled by someone that was going by an alias. They're not in town, but they have a couple people that represent them back in Sundera.
Oh,
They say that they work for someone known as the Rat King. And
Oh.
that laugh is why I followed it back. They're
oh,
actually the reason I'm here.
he's good. He's really good. I was going to ask if it was time to reorient, but it seems that young man is more resourceful than I gave him credit for.
Sounds like you know him better than the people back in Sundera are letting on.
Uh, this stays between us, but I was starting a new network because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep the same contacts. And there was a bit of a resistance to the Duke and some interesting opportunists when we got here, and I made use of them and reoriented their goals for the betterment of these people.
You seem to do that a lot wherever you live.
You know me, I'm a sucker for the disenfranchised.
Not enough of a sucker, if you ask me.
These kids aren't bad people, they just need a purpose.
So am I going to be able to meet this king?
Yeah.
Because from what's been going on, your vacuum, when it was finally filled by these dock rats, as they called themselves, I left because of them. A lot of my base contacts were going through them more than me, which isn't terrible. Gave me a reason to actually uproot finally. But word's getting around that wharfs are getting infestations.
I told him to spread his net. I think some more in-depth talks are necessary, and with you here, I want you there.
You're wanting me as part of your network again.
I want you to at least be informed. If you want to be hands off, be hands off. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to be. You can leave it entirely behind. I had no idea that he was going to find my network. I gave
I
him.
don't think he found your network. I think your network found him. That void was massive.
Mm.
The command you had in there.
It's. I will say it's ironic that me leaving and starting a new one just brought all the old contacts in indirectly back under my leadership. I did not foresee that consequence. And I'm sorry that you got caught up in it.
Honestly, being up here, at least I'm getting back on the inside.
So you are going to be there.
Of course. If I can't be hands-on with you, might as well be hands-on with your organization. You see, I wish that was said in a little bit better of a light.
You're incorrigible. And I get that most people say that about me, but goddamn, are you persistent?
Do you expect anything less?
No, but I do remember when you were just as tall as my knee, and that's never going to change.
We'll see.
Anyway, then I think we're going to be heading back to Mandan in a day or two, because if you want to be back in the network, that's the main base of operations at the moment. I still have some interesting things to do with this tavern. Haven't stuck around long enough to figure them out. Speaking of interesting things with this tavern, I just noticed something the other day, and I haven't had a chance to scratch that itch. You want to go investigating with me?
Sure.
I go back out to the common room where that bit of magic I detected, that illusion magic is.
All right.
And go poking around investigating it.
All right. Let's see if I can find that proper transcript real quick. The way I described it last time was so perfect.
Should have been our last session.
I think it was actually 2 sessions ago.
Well, because you told me about it when I did the detect magic.
Yes, but I didn't give the description to you.
Oh.
The initial description.
You weren't the first one that saw it.
Okay.
Sorka,
keeping secrets.
do you remember which one it is? Was it January 29th?
Think it might have been.
I think I'll just have to. So, I do remember most of the description range of it. You see a young tabaxi standing on a precipice looking over a vista. At the bottom of the valley in the distance of this rectangle, you see the image of what could probably be Mandan. This tabaxi looks a lot like Tala, with sword over his shoulder, holding the scabbard, and a bindle tied around the hilt of his sword. At his feet, there is a small dog. And at the very top of the tall rectangle, there is a oval. That is the very short version of it.
And you said this is like near the floor, or
Yes, it is on that pillar near the floor. It's about shin height.
and this is etched into the wood, or
It looks like it's etched into the wood.
and touch it.
It feels kind of like like a heavy cardstock, not like wood.
Can I pull it off?
Yep. As you pull it off, there is more color that is added to it. It looks a lot more like Tala as you get a closer look. And it is very similar in like artistic style to the other card that you have in your possession. That has just a simple line at the top of it. Add into your inventory the Fool.
All right.
The other card that you have in your inventory is the Magician.
Is this a major arcana or
Major Arcana.
Turn back to Vivian? These things keep popping up. I didn't want to mess with it while foreign delegates were here, but interesting things keep springing up. Are the others down for breakfast yet?
Anyone who wants to have trickled in by now, you are more than welcome to.
Cassius probably would have, because Cassius only needs like 4 hours of sleep, so he probably would have got up early and see if Tala wanted to train. Because we've been missing a lot of training because, you know, I've been busy with the sanctuary, so.
Yeah, today he is not really feeling up to it.
All right, that's fine. I'll just go train by myself then, alone. But yeah, I will go train, and then after training, I'll join everyone else in the tavern.
Did I hear the word train?
So Fubar and Cassius are not going to be in the tavern at all.
Yes.
I'll have some fun.
Sorka, have you made it back down to the tavern?
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to the bartender and let them know about the two people that are staying here. Tell them that like anything they want is on my tab, and that I will be heading to town in just a little bit.
with the timing of you saying that, Dio, you are able to like see and hear Sorka mention this.
Oh, Sorka, we can travel together.
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
I'd like you to meet someone. This is Vivian.
I've met Vivian.
You have met Vivian. Very briefly.
I never did catch your name before, so you're the Sorka that the old couple rants and raves about.
That's parents for you. I am sure that I owe you for bringing them here. Please let me know what I can do.
So far,
what
I've
you need.
extracted more than enough out of your friend here.
I was afraid that I was going to owe that bastard.
No, as soon as I heard that what positioning he had, I decided I was just going to take advantage of it. Seeing that's all the advantage I can take of him.
I'm just going to chuckle.
Women.
Excuse me?
Nothing. The two of you just... You're the two closest women in my life, and in very different ways.
Yeah, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw since I have access to my character again.
Oh, that's not good. 8.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah,
How
that's 9 points of psychic
Excellent.
damage.
Excellent. That one hurt. All right. New project for my alchemy. Headache pills. Fuck.
Make a medicine that you can apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah, I deserved that one. Yes, Vivian and I have some business down in Mandan. I was going to see if any of the others wanted to join us, but it seems none of them are around. So we should at least let them know our plans. I know you're excited to see your parents, and I'm very grateful that they're here far earlier than we expected.
As am I.
Truly, I'm happy for you, Sorka.
Yeah, you should be happy for yourself that you don't have to make that long trip with me.
Were you planning on making the trip miserable?
No, but you have a habit of pushing me to my limits.
Fair, I suppose. Let's hunt down the others and see if any of them want to go back to Mandan with us. I think Cassius and Fubar might be pummeling the shit out of each other in the training yard. I might have suggested that they spar together. And as I see neither of them, I'm assuming that's what they're doing.
2 men enter, 1 man leave. 2 men enter.
Yeah, okay. You want to take it that way? Sure.
When we walk out to the training yard, what do we see?
There was a firefight.
Oh, and I'll be nice. I'll keep close fist. I wouldn't want to scratch you too badly.
Oh, whatever.
So do we want to play this out or?
Sure.
Okay, well. Then I guess we start with rolling initiative.
12.
Boy, you beat me.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I rolled a 2.
I was not expecting that.
Nor was I.
How far are we starting from each other? I figured since we're both melee characters, it wouldn't be like super far.
No, we'd be within 10, 15 feet.
Cool. So I would like to rage. That's my bonus action. And then I would like to use my first attack to grapple him.
Okay. So it's contested, right?
Yes, you can use athletics or acrobatics. I wonder which one you would use.
Actually, both are fairly close. 14.
Which one are you going to use?
Athletics. Or sorry, acrobatics.
22.
Okay, you got me.
And then I'm going to... Oh, I'm not having my shield on right now. I'm just using my fist. So, but yeah, that way I can grapple you. And then I can punch you with a D8. Or attempt to.
Mm-hmm.
That is
You
a
have
natural
advantage.
one.
Hmm?
How do I have advantage?
Well, you've got me grappled, do you not? A little bit
Grappled?
harder for me to move around.
Your speed's just 0.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yep. So that was a 1.
Okay.
So with a natural 1, you need to roll a d20 once more.
That's an 11.
Okay. Nothing additional happens.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be my turn.
That's your turn? Okay. So we'll go with an unarmed strike, followed up by a flurry of blows. And anyone that hits, I'm going to try and stun him. $19.
19 hits.
$11 points of bludgeoning damage. So have that. And you have to make a save. Just give me a second. Where's my stunning blows? Nope, not there. Stunning strike, DC 12.
That is a 16.
Okay. So my next attack, I'm going to change it to my draconic strike. And it's going to be cold damage. Uh, 19 to hit,
19 hits.
8 points of cold damage.
In a little while.
So
we'll walk
how
out.
does it look when you use your that draconic strike?
So
So you are a
basically,
different kind of dragon.
Hey,
It's- sorry.
I forgot I have a new rage.
Oh
Okay.
right, Yeah, you raged. You need to roll your D8.
Yes. That is a 3. An intangible spirit appears which looks like a flump or a pixie. You said mine looks like a little green fairy. Appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice within 30 that you can see within 30 foot. At the end of the turn, the pixie explodes. Each creature within 5 foot must make a dexterity save or take a d6 force damage. So it's a DC 16 dexterity save.
DC 16 dexterity save.
So yeah,
As
when
long
you
as I roll-
rage, you see a little green fairy. That I'm pretty sure you call Absinthe.
Okay. So that, just give me a quick second. That is, okay, so I rolled a 15.
Oh. Six points of force damage.
Okay. Not a problem. And you need to make another DC 12. Hold on, what was that? DC 12 con save.
Yeah, 26.
Okay, I'm seeing this is not going to work. And last attack. $25 to hit.
Yeah, that way.
So 7 more points of cold damage. And that's it for my turn.
Okay. At the start of my turn, since you are still grappled, I do a D4 of bludgeoning damage. That is 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
About this time, Dio, you start making your way outside. And you are the only one to probably be noticing the fact that there is a crowd growing around these two that is filtered out from the lodge.
All right, I'm taking bets.
You see a very familiar dwarf walking around holding a very, very worn hat that has gold coins in it. Gold, silver, copper.
Somebody's already beat me to it. All right. What are the over-unders?
Personally, and seeing as I'm the one actually collecting them, I'm the one that matters on it, the odds are highly in favor of Cassius, partially for being, want to use, and also especially because, I mean, if I look at him,
Fair enough. Although if I wasn't planning on placing a bet myself, but keep up the good work. I'd feel weird betting on my companions. Though I'll let other people do it. The two of you just hear me hollow over. I see you're bonding.
Okay.
So that's what I should. Okay, I'll remember that next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am going to use my first attack to make a shove, which would I'm trying to push you to the ground and make you prone. So that would be a contested. You can do athletics, or you can do athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. 18.
21.
Okay. Down
now
on the
they-
ground.
Now I have advantage on my second attack.
Just give me one quick second. I just want to double check. Okay, no. No, okay. I don't have any reactions that could counter that.
Okay. That is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
So that is 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Ooh, 8 points of radiant damage. And then that was my action. So I will. Yeah, I think I would like to.
Didn't you action shove him to the ground?
Yeah, but he gets.
No. You can I can swap an attack for that.
Aha.
So that's why I got that second attack. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to use Giant Smite and become a large creature with all this rage and frustration going through me. And then I'm going to take 2 more attacks with Action Surge.
Okay. I may not get the chance to do my next round.
How is
17.
Fubar looking?
Beaten, but still doing well.
Okay.
Fairly your name?
Yeah.
So Dio is going to start keeping a very close eye, and before Fubar gets knocked unconscious, he'll step in.
Fubar, does a 17 hit you?
Fuck. Yes.
All right. So that is a D8 and a D6 plus 4. So that's 9, 13, 17 points of damage total. Does it matter if it's piercing or radiant? Or
Nope.
not piercing, bludgeoning or radiant.
Nope.
Okay. And then the second attack. That is a 16.
That misses.
Actually, on that last attack, since I used Giant Smite, there's an additional D6 because of Giant Smite, because I'm now a large creature.
Okay.
Just a D6. So yeah, that's just one more point of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Now that you're prone, your attacks have disadvantage.
Well, I'm not going to actually. Is that first thing I'm going to do is, and this is choose a damage type. Bonus. Dex save 12 as I breathe lightning in your face.
DM,
And as I do, I get up.
would that be something I can see?
Yes.
What's that advantage for me?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 17.
Okay. So that's you still take half the damage.
All right.
So 5, so 2 points.
All right.
As I get up.
How do you get up?
You're not grappling anymore if you shove to the ground.
Yeah.
How so?
Because then you'd be on top. prone as well. I'm pretty sure shoving ends grapple.
No, if I shoved him out of my range, it would end grapple.
Mm,
We're getting a quick look up.
I guess it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, because you're still within range.
Yep.
Essentially, he just knocked your feet out from under you.
I'm
Like,
still
same
not
bar.
seeing how he would not
Like
be prone at the same time.
Like a standing arm bar.
Yeah. Everything I can find, rules is written in everything. Shoving does not break a grapple unless they're shoved out of your reach. But being knocked prone doesn't end grapples.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I thought it was the other way too.
Logically, it is, but we'll go with the rules.
Ultimately, DM's decision.
Yeah.
As someone who does watch and mild study a fair amount of martial arts things, there are techniques and ways of being more upright and having someone in a mostly pinned position. It's as watching like watching an MMA fight of a person that has been knocked to the ground. You're in a back position and he is standing over top you, where he would be in almost a like half mount or full mount position, standing above you and dropping hits in that manner. And while you would be trying to move away out from underneath his feet, he's able
Okay.
to shift
Okay.
around on top of you still,
Okay.
keeping your movement at a 0.
Yeah, like this is how I built Cassius, was off of like him being able to use grapple and hold someone there. But those are my last 2 attacks on my turn, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
You can roll to attempt to break the grapple.
Yeah. I'm just checking on a couple of other things because it's been a while. Okay, that's an other bonus. Okay. So then I'm just going all out from where I'm at. Fuck. Yeah, no, I can't afford to take that.
And you've already used your action, haven't you?
I've done an attack. I'm doing action surge. So then I get another attack action, at which point, as a bonus action, I can do Flurry of Blows. And again, look at seeing about the stun. So, action, Draconic Strike at disadvantage.
I feel like you got a bunch of key points. I don't like it.
I'm assuming a 9 won't do. Oh shit, that's a 1. Okay, so I have to roll another d20. Seven.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
So, as a reminder of what that ruling is that I have is, if you roll a natural 1,
mhm.
you roll again. If you roll another natural 1, you end up imposing yourself a attack of opportunity.
Mhm.
If you roll a d20, if you roll a 20 after rolling a natural 1, you basically get to re-roll your attack again.
Okay. So 1 or 20 are the only ones that
matter.
Yeah. And then Flurry of blows at disadvantage. Roll. Nope. And disadvantage. Last one. A 20. Dirty 20. Okay, so that's a hit. Give me a con save then. DC 12.
That is a 13.
Fuck. And you will have taken 6 points of cold damage.
Darn. Okay.
And as I see you, how's your health levels?
9 out of 10.
I tap out then.
Oh, are you okay? You're good. You good?
I'll
say in
recover.
a soothing voice, because I'm still a large creature right now. So I'm like, instead of 6'9", I double in size, so that would be,
oh fuck, 13 plus.
yeah, like, ooh,
Yeah, that's you're pretty fucking tall.
13 and a half,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Whew. I just kind of pick you up and like set you up right, make sure you're stable.
Yeah.
Cassius, that's some new tricks.
Yeah, that was, ooh. And he starts just like kind of flexing in front of the crowd that is amassed at his new glory.
A few people are understandably upset as the dwarf laughs, starting to count out the coins to some of the other winners.
Well, did you two have fun?
It
was-
tingles when he hurts. It like it's still kind of like pins and needles and shit. I don't like it. That's how that's yeah.
That's an impressive trick there.
Which one?
The giant.
Yeah, that one's actually new. I didn't know that was a thing. I just wanted to like, hit you harder, and then I got real big, and it did. Like I pushed
Okay.
myself to the point where I got bigger. That was. I mean, the fairy thing, I don't know what the shit that was about either. That's the first time I've seen a fairy explode.
Yeah, and that's you've definitely, those are very interesting skills.
Though it didn't look like you were a slouch, Fubar. It just looks like you were caught off guard.
Completely. I expected the barbarian rage, but between that fairy and the giant, it's like, okay.
Well, Cassius,
Well,
looks like you got more dangerous.
Well, and I have other stuff too from like, I don't know if it's from the well or what, but it's like
The well?
the mirror thing, right?
Yeah, you weren't
Yeah.
there. It
Yeah.
was. I figured I freaked you out enough. I didn't tell you about the well.
Okay, well, I now know about the well, or some of it. What the heck?
Oh, I thought you were telling them about the well.
Oh, well, the well was responsible for the dire beasts, and in the process of closing it, we all got washed with a bunch of astral energy, and things got wonky.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. I'm glad you consider it so.
Another day at the office.
Dum-dum.
But anyway, let's. Do either of you want to join us in Mandan? Sorka and I have some business down there. Or
I
do you
should probably check on Claus. Or I don't need to. I'm sure she's fine, but I would like to.
Fubar, Mandan?
Sure. It'd be nice to know a little bit about the area.
All right.
I can show you my establishment. It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I send a message off to Wells. Wells, you free for a moment?
Yes. Hey.
All right, we're on the training grounds. I'm sure you heard the commotion.
All right.
When Wells gets down there. These two bonded over beating the fuck out of each other. Cassius has some new tricks. Wells.
I can be giant.
I think you briefly met Vivian before, but Vivian, Wells, Vivian.
Hello.
Sorka has some business in Mandan, and so do I. Care to join us?
Yeah, sure.
So that does absolutely nothing.
All right. I guess we're going to go back and see our people in Mandan here real quick. Haven't been gone long, but good to go back.
You get everything sorted out to start heading back into Mandan. The trip itself doesn't take very long. You're starting to notice how much faster it is getting between the manor and Mandan. When you get back to town, you do see a recognizable ship in the docks. The ship is fairly gaudy. You haven't seen this ship in Mandan before, but you've seen everyone who has been in Sundara, which again is the third largest city of the Blue Rose and where most of you came from. You've seen this ship, the white painted wood, the gold leaf fucking everywhere. The golden wind is noticeable far, as is the high elf that commands the ship.
Is that the ship you chartered, Vivian?
You know, despite how it looks, they're really low on pricing when it comes to getting up this way.
At least it's more business for the port. Of course, you chartered the Golden Wind.
That was the only ship in town that had a manifest heading up anywhere this direction.
Okay.
Besides, from the rumors that were going around of the decks, I thought it appropriate.
Oh.
Apparently, there was someone on board that was heading up towards the White Rose.
More bureaucracy. Everyone, welcome back to Mandan.
I'm guessing you all the ideas of splitting up is fairly understood and probably expected. Sorka, Shiloh, and uh, Jasper mentioned that your parents have been staying at the Black Barrel Tavern. And
I will head that way.
when you get into the tavern, you notice, a few people that you've seen in there before, regulars. You also see the unmistakable sight of two people sitting across from each other. Saria and your mom.
I will go over and sit down with them at first.
They both look at you in surprise. Saria nods to you and gets up, walks over towards Shiloh and Jasper, and they just start talking with each other, heading upstairs. We always knew that you were going to be growing into someone amazing. We never expected this.
Neither did I.
We were very proud of you for your work that you were doing back in Sandera, and we expected that you were going to just keep that simple life.
I expected that too.
I guess your little blessing has turned into more of a spark of the divine and destiny than we expected.
I mean, those wouldn't be the words that I would use at this point, but it's been an interesting time, and I apologize for my lack of contact. It was not purposeful.
We never took it personally. When Shiloh mentioned that he heard people on the docks were mentioning this grand new group, and he did some digging and found out that this is where you had meant. I'm glad to be home.
I'm glad to have you home. I mean, we will be making part of our manor a few days away from here your home, if that's acceptable to you.
You live in a manor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I live in part of it. I have a library.
If 5-year-old you could hear what you were saying right now,
I know, right?
it'd have made the trip from the Gold Rose a lot easier.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm happy. Your father will be thrilled. He's having some better days. I think being away from the ocean air is doing him some good.
Well, you'll be even further from the ocean and closer to the forest at the manor. It's inland.
I know at least I'll like that.
And you will have free reign of this entire barony. Weirdly enough. Yeah, it doesn't even feel right saying it still.
I'm happy for it. I mean, for as long as we have, I'm happy for it.
I'm just happy to have you close to me again. I can't express how much I miss seeing your faces every day.
You know, right now, that's kind of the thought I had. Do you ever take it off?
No, not here. Not um yeah. Things have been too much. And while this is home, it hasn't felt like home. Um, and while I've grown close to these people, they aren't you.
I get it. I hope someday.
I'm sure once I have you settled and I feel more settled than I am, maybe. But for now, it stays on.
All right. Come on, let's head upstairs.
Yes.
As we cut away from that momentarily, the camera pans over Cassius, almost dragging Fubar over to the Siren's sanctuary to show off the work. The camera keeps panning over the town. Wells getting back into his little workshop for a short bit. A note sitting on your desk that has a wax seal that you've seen before, Wells. You recognize it. It is your home seal. Do you open the letter?
Yes.
Inside the letter, it reads, the delegation for looking over your guild branch should be arriving in mid-autumn and will be hosted by the new head of foreign affairs, Gabby Dawnshorn. I'm guessing you're looking over your character page to see where you recognize that name.
Just noting it down. But would
If
I
you
know?
want- Would you like a reminder of the name?
Yeah.
Gabby is your older sister.
Oh, okay. You s- uh, okay, you said the last name a little different than how I thought, so
Ah. How is it supposed to be pronounced?
down Swan.
Dawn Sworn?
Mhm.
Okay. Downsworn. Gotta love dyslexia. It makes words look all funky. With that letter in hand and the knowledge of what is around the corner, the camera then pans back away. Dionysus, having walked up to the uh, docks, looking for the king of the rats, and you find him sitting across the a barrel, playing a game of cards.
I'll be right back there, guys.
All right. He is sitting across the table playing a game of cards with a man in a nice white suit, a trilby hat pulled far down, and a rapier at his side. You are muted.
Is this someone I recognized from that meeting oh so many months ago?
Yep. Not the person in charge.
The guard.
The guard.
The really scary guard.
As he looks up to meet your eyes, Victor turns around, stands up, and bows to you. My liege, I did not expect anyone to be heading this way, especially anyone of your stature. To what do I owe this
But
visit?
halfway through his sentence, Dio just groans hard. Vivian told me someone from the White Rose would be here. I wasn't expecting you. Victor, it's good to see you. I was hoping to catch up with you.
And as you say that, the man stands up, looks at you, and says, "And I'm hoping to catch up with you about an experiment that has gone awry." And with that, we're actually going to call it there. Thank you all so much for watching this playback. We should hopefully be running again in a semi-better capacity in about 2 weeks from recording this. So until then, be well, roll safe, and enjoy the tavern.